Gather apples and gems, encounter events, and start friendships or pie fights. Today, we review My Little Scythe with the Pie in the Sky expansion by Hobie and Vienna Chow and published by Stonemaier Games.
You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
My Little Scythe plays 2 to 6 players and also has a solo automa mode. It scales real well with player count because during setup, there are random resources on the board placed based on the number of players and where they're located. Play length is about 45 minutes. Lower player counts, that's about right. The Pie in the Sky expansion brings in an airship and 2 new animal characters and unique faction abilities. How do you win? The winner is the player who's able to place all of their 4 trophies on the trophy track. It's 5 trophies if you're playing with the Pie in the Sky expansion. There are 8 different categories available for earning trophies. You can earn trophies for reaching 8 on the friendship track, powering up both of your move and your make actions, having 3 magic cards in your hand, completing 2 quests, delivering 4 gems to Castle Everfree, or delivering 4 apples to Castle Everfree, winning a pie fight, or reaching 8 on the pie track. Who are you? You control 2 animal miniatures embarking upon an adventure in the Kingdom of Poem, attempting to be the first to earn 5 trophies. What are you doing? In My Little Scythe, players take turns choosing an action to either move, seek, or make. Players are going to use the action pawn to select actions on their player board. Players are not able to select an action where the action pawn is currently located. That prevents you from using the same action twice in a row. The move action. The player may move with both of their animal creatures. Characters can move 2 spaces if they're not holding any apples or gems or carrying any apples or gems. If they are carrying apples or gems, they can only move 1 space. There are portals on the board that allow for moving to other portals directly or to Castle Everfree in the center of the board. Moving around the board allows you to collect apples and gems. Those apples and gems never leave the board. You only control apples and gems if you control the space where the apples and the gems are located. Trophies will be awarded for delivering apples and gems to Castle Everfree. Moving into spaces with an opponent will start a pie fight, which will allow the winner to earn a trophy. The attacking player immediately loses 1 friendship on the friendship track for starting the fight. Players are going to use pies that they have in their pie track and magic cards in their hand to fight. They will commit to a fight using a number from 0 to 7 on the combat dial, which is from their pie track, and they can add a card, a magic spell card, for each character in that space where the fight occurs. Once both players reveal the number of committed pies and pies from spell cards, the player with the most total of pies is going to win the fight. Ties go to the attacker. The winner of the fight gains a trophy for winning the fight. The defeated character is sent back to their home base empty-handed, leaving the winner with control of the space and the resources on that space. The defeated character becomes rejuvenated, which allows the losing player to either gain 2 pies or a spell card, and they get to reset their action pawn. So they get to take the action pawn off the player board, which gives them access to any action on their next turn. Moving into a space with a quest token allows the player to complete a quest card. You're going to draw a quest card. There's going to be about 3 options on the card. Usually the options are going to be things like gain a resource, or things like lose on the friendship track or the pie track to gain some special action. If you complete 2 quests during the course of the game, you get to place a trophy on the trophy track. The seek action. Players are going to roll dice when they take the seek action in order to find apples and gems and quest tokens. Dice results are going to determine where the new tokens are placed on the board. The new die provided in the Pie in the Sky expansion allows you to move the airship to retrieve apples or gems, or it allows you to activate your special asymmetric faction ability for your airship. Players are able to gain friendship during the seek action. The active player increases their friendship track by 1 for each apple or gem that they place on an opponent's space during the seek action. The make action. When they make, they can choose to power up by upgrading either their move or their make action, or they can choose to bake pies, which increases the pie track, or they can conjure spells to draw magic cards for use in pie fights. Pie in the Sky expansion. The Pie in the Sky expansion brings in 2 new animal characters. You're going to get the fox character, and you're going to add the owl character. The expansion also adds a new airship and unique faction abilities that go with that airship. The airship can be used during the Seek action to collect apples or gems off the board and put them in your cargo hold for use later. This protects them and takes them off the board. Airships can also be used to trigger a unique faction ability, such as Crop Duster, which drops more apples on the board, or Forbidden Pie, allowing you to gain pies whenever you lose friendship in a certain region. Why you might like My Little Scythe. First of all, if you have kids and you're a fan of Jamie Stegmaier's 2016 hit Scythe, go out and buy My Little Scythe. Flat out. Go get it right now. I'm a fan of Scythe, and this version allows me to play with my kids. And really my hope is that what they learn here playing My Little Scythe is something that'll make it easier for them to transition when we start playing Big Scythe when that time comes. For other gamers with kids, I wholly recommend My Little Scythe. There are so few games that I can play with my kids that keep my interest and also provide a good experience for them. My Little Scythe allows them to have some combat, but not so heavy in confrontation and combat that it makes them upset. The game encourages sharing resources in order to gain friendship, which is needed to win trophies. My Little Scythe plays in about an hour, which makes it viable for weeknight gaming and not so long of a play that my boys lose attention. What you might not like. Combat is fairly deterministic. Players can see how many pies their opponent has and can tell how many magic spell cards they hold in their hands. The attacker usually knows how much they need to spend in order to guarantee a win in the fight. And because the attacker wins on ties, all they have to spend is that tying amount to tie the defender and win the fight. This puts younger kids at a disadvantage because they may not be able to calculate their odds as well as older players. Lacking any randomness in combat means there's less feelings of surprise or excitement by eking out a low likelihood combat victory out of nowhere. My Little Scythe with the Pie in the Sky expansion is a must-have for any gamer parent. If you're seeking to play with your kids ages 8 and up, it doesn't get any better than this. Pie in the Sky, Stonemaier Games, along with the base set My Little Scythe, is a great combination. I recommend you get it. I'm Carlos with the Beans and Dice Podcast. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, we have our live call-in show. Call in and talk to us about games that you like, you enjoy, and why we're wrong about the games that we like. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.